an entrepreneur, and a business coach for wholesalers all around the nation. And today I'm here with my main man, Mr. Wyatt Powell, and we are excited to introduce the Padley package. So before I jump into what exactly that is, I want to talk about Mr. Wyatt. Wyatt, where are you from? What do you do? What's the name of your company?
All right, man. So I'm Wyatt. I'm from Mississippi. I was born in Miami. I've been all over. I worked as a medical devices engineer in Puerto Rico and Cleveland, Mississippi. Played football at Mississippi State for 3 or 4 years, I reckon. I got my degree in industrial system engineering with a focus in mathematics. So I was gearing up to be a manufacturing guy, and I kind of fell into a gig at an REI company where they brought me on. I more or less did my first SalesForce implementation without knowing the platform. So doing that, working by a year, grew my network, and I landed out in Phoenix working with Darren Danby, Stephanie Betters at Main Dev Experts now.
Yep.
So Main Dev Experts is the sister company to Left Main. We act as more of what's called an SI in the space. So Left Main is a product that you buy, and just like any product, you can go buy a truck, but if you need different tires, you got to pay someone to change tires out.
Right.
Typically, the 80% for most isn't the 100% for you. So many people buy this product, and they get a great deal in licenses. And
when you say this product, you mean SalesForce?
I mean, SalesForce by way of Left Main. So you're going to save a lot of money in licenses, and you're going to get this product and go, this is really cool, but I kind of wish it was exactly how we need it to be, curved to the curves of our process, expressing what we need it to express. And you realize I just bought a huge system, and I don't know really what to do with it. I'm looking for help. The standard route was go hire a dev off of an Upwork or whatever these contracts.
Which is what we did.
Oh, yeah, we can get to that too. They hire a dev, and the dev doesn't know real estate. The dev doesn't understand the focus behind a small business, because if we're shooting it straight, most real estate investors are small businesses. You can make a lot of money in a small business, but we don't have access to these executives and an entire IT department. So we have to figure out things on our own, and the hustle's there. But oftentimes, hustle and platform knowledge live in complete isolation. What are the odds you're going to be a SalesForce admin and flip houses?
Yep.
So what we ran into, and I ran into this as a young operator and an investor, is this platform can do whatever I need it to do. It's plenty good enough for companies like Hulu, all the big companies that ride on Salesforce's platform. I know it's kind of like Netflix. All these like little streaming services use that for their back end. But yet I'm a small company. I'm on this monster platform. How do I get from, cold product, or at least like starter pack, to Padley package, a Padley org?
Yep.
So you bring on somewhat of an SI partner like Main Dev. We sit client facing, and we bang this thing out to be exactly what it needs to be, so you're closing more deals.
Yep. So let me back up and add some groundwork there, right? So I am a partner in a pretty big wholesale company in Atlanta called Padley. When we started this up with my business partners 8 months ago, back in July, I'm like, guys, first thing we got to get is SalesForce. Had it at my old company. It was a beast. They're like, all right, well, what's it cost? I'm like, I don't know. Hey, we just got to get it. So we dove in, we got it. Actually, I knew that Wyatt and them done Salesforce development, called them up, and I said, hey, nope, your price ain't going to work. That's just too expensive. I got this Indian guy out of Pakistan. He's going to do it for a fraction of the cost. Well, guess what? 60 days later, I'm with a complete cluster of a CRM. Call Wyatt back up. We get cooking, right? So 8 months later, probably well into 6 figures and 8 months worth of development, Wyatt comes to me and he's like, guys, y'all probably have the best CRM in wholesaling, hands down.
Yep.
And he's like, one thing, there's a big fear of adoption of Salesforce because there's a couple problems. People, they know it's badass. They know that they want it. They know that the most elite operators in the space have it, but we can never give them a concrete price of what it's going to take to get them the product that they want. And we can never give them a definitive timeline for how long it's going to take. Yeah. And there's two things that entrepreneurs have is they want to know the price and they want to know how long it's going to take.
Exactly.
And he's like, Ren, I feel like you have the best. What if we just uploaded your Salesforce? Would you be open to uploading your Salesforce into their Salesforce? And it kind of solves a lot of problems for a lot of people. And we said to ourselves, well, why? I think that's a great idea. I'm a coach and a consultant, and I'm in all of these wholesale businesses across the country, probably about 30 of them. and it's all a cluster. And I was like, man, that solves a lot of my problems as a consultant as well. If
Yes.
they just had the same lingo, the terminology, and all the
Yes.
dashboards and the reporting. And so it worked out pretty well. But I want to go into a minute, Wyatt, what it took for us to get
Ooh.
our SalesForce to where it is today. Because when I say $100,000 plus 8 months, right, there's a lot more that goes into it than that, right? Tell us little bit about that.
Yeah. So what's interesting is actually when we worked there for a month and stood you up, and then y'all went off for I think 10 to 15 days and worked with the Pakistani dev. We closed 30 tickets in 2 days. 30 tickets. 1, 2. I remember working with that was Padley Day.
Yeah.
Like the first day back, it was Padley Day.
Explain what a ticket is.
Okay, good. A ticket or case, those are synonymous. So you submit a ticket on the technical side of the tech support system, whatever your
So if you need something done, you have to
Exactly.
submit a ticket to your developer. Okay.
Yep, and that hits them as a case in Salesforce, or a ticket, the exact same thing. A ticket is do this for me. It's work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, man,
So if I have a broke dashboard or a broke field or a broke object or my data isn't conveying right, I got to submit a ticket.
Yep.
Then I got to wait on you to get it fixed. What's that process look like?
Exactly. So with us, we only hire English speaking first, American typically, Salesforce administrators. And when we close a case, close a ticket, I joke about handwritten, but we require a field with a validation rule in our org as a service provider that says note from main dev and then Loom from main dev, which Loom is a video sharing software. So we screen record everything.
Yep.
Right. So we spit that back out to y'all. So y'all said, and we can go into ticket count if you want, more or less over the course of probably 8 or 9 months, I bet we have gotten 406 tickets, right? Or cases, same thing, 406 cases. And I'm going to make some assumptions here. So we're talking about what went into making this, right? So we have about 9 months of thought. And I need to start with, there's a marriage of focus and I would say kind of ownership on y'all's end. And that's why we've liked working with y'all, because if I push something out to Tyler or Cameron, it gets adopted.
Mm.
They watch the video. I could pull my Loom. If I could report against Loom, I could show all the videos we sent out on those cases. You'd see Tyler Evans, Clint Cooper, Cameron Hall, Tyler Evans. So I bet we've gotten 400 cases, right? I'm going to assume it took 30 minutes for the user at Padley to go, there's a problem, and they identify the problem. Let's say it took half an hour, right? So it takes them 30 minutes, and they submit the ticket. I'm going to assume it takes us the same amount of time to fix the problem. 30 minutes, 15, 45, it depends on the request, right? If we're looking at time that's going into this, just from the client, from Padley, we're looking at about 203 hours, roughly, of just submission. So
Just of ticket development.
of pretty much identifying
Bug fixes,
problems. Exactly.
Problems, user interface problems, systematic problems,
Yeah.
automation problems.
You have 203 hours of more or less like problem awareness.
Yeah.
Identifying problems, pointing the layer, say, hey, tweak this, tweak this, tweak this. Because, to me, I really believe this complexity isn't a process map with a bunch of lines connecting to each other. It's a process map with those same nodes or little squares with no lines connecting anywhere. That unknown is what kills us.
Yeah.
The old quote, the weight of an unknown decision weighs heavier than any burden you can carry, right? So that's what's cool is there's probably 200 hours going into this of I see a problem, I have defined the problem, fixed the problem, and I'm going to assume it took us the same amount of time to close those tickets. So we're looking at, 400 hours.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. When someone comes and says, hey, I'm going all in on Salesforce, what do you think their number one challenge is?
Knowing what they want. I would say actually
The desired end state. What does the final product look like?
The desired end state for an investor is I spent $1. How much did it make me?
Yeah.
Getting there can be more challenging than you think, because I won't get into the architecture of Salesforce. There's plenty of ways we've solutioned this in the past. But to get there, you have to understand, if I put $1 in, how do I relate it across my entire CRM, which is actually pretty complex if you really sit and think about it, because you have 3 different places this data lives, perhaps, in the left main, model, lead, opportunity, transaction. So the investor says, man, I want a system that, I joke about it, that closes deals for me.
Yeah.
And, quick note, our highest earning clients, that wants to make the most money have the least outgoing automation when it comes to correspondence to clients.
Interesting.
Very least.
So let's stop and meddle on that. Everybody wants automation, automation, automation. Wyatt sees under the hood of hundreds of wholesale organizations, and the clients that make the most have the least automation. I didn't even know that. I know we have very little automation. I know we don't make the most by far. I'm not going to sit and toot that horn yet, but we have very little automation.
And one more, I'm dead serious. The guys that come in, and it's well intended, and I think there's a strong case to be made for some kind of just essentially hey, let's get back in touch. Here's an email. Here's a text. But this whole, they haven't called me in a day. Drip, drip, drip. Ooh, wait, they got me. Come back. It's like, let's think about that. What does it really take to manage that? My highest earning clients have the best process, not automation. Because I've seen guys, and I'd be interested to know what maybe like deal count was for Cooper Cash Offer Padley prior and post SalesForce. I have probably 4 or 5 clients that would have been on par with other peers that are at a good level, 10, 15 deals a month. And my tech manager's back there and he's like, these guys are making money now, like 30 deals a month, 35, big month of 45. And, when we brought their stuff over from Pipe Drive, they were 10, 15 deals a month.
Yeah.
Now they got 15 salesmen.
Yeah. So problem 1 is they don't know what they want.
Shiny object syndrome.
Problem 2 could be what?
I'd say they don't know what they want. And problem 2 is shiny object syndrome. It's, I want something that does the work for me. And I think what I avoid personally is I avoid having these honest self-inventory of, hey, I really don't know why I'm not making more money. Mm-hmm. But I know this guy bought this and he bought that. So if I buy this, it will entitle me to make more money.
Right.
And you're buying a really good tool, but you're buying, a hammer you've never swung.
Yep.
So there's a legitimate investment that happens is if you're going to buy the tool, you're going to buy a car, you need to know how to drive a stick.
Yeah.
If you're going to drive a Ferrari, you got to know how to drive a stick for a manual vehicle. So it's like, that's the big one is we buy a tool, not something that does the work for you. We buy a tool that enables you to do more work, be more efficient, right? But we sometimes get tripped out and get scared of investing in it.
Yep. So the next thing that I see going into a lot of people's businesses are that their processes are so busted.
Yes.
There's so much redundancy. There's so many people crossing swim lanes that really there's no need to cross that swim lane there. And that creates chaos and confusion as well. Yeah. And then when they go into SalesForce and they try to Band-Aid all of this broke process together, it really creates a level of frustration as well, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. How many times I've imported leads and guys tell me their lead status, and just quick SalesForce pro tip, right? That bar at the top of your screen is your process, not your lead temperature. We can do all kind of stuff where we express a lead's rating in respect to where it is in our process, but how we treat that lead follow-up wise is determined by our process. So again, I'll get guys who come in and it's very telling, and it's why I'm passionate about what I do and what we do at Main Dev is somebody comes in and they say, here's my lead statuses. It says new, working, hot, offer, unqualified, converted.
Yep.
And I go, what the French toast am I looking at? And I do mean this. It's like seriously one of the biggest things I do when I'm onboarded. We've probably taken about 40, 50 people live at this point on the Left Main platform that's on Sales Cloud. Organizations, right? So you're going to roll up probably 300 users in that, right? So again, like it starts with defining what's what. And I will spend 45 minutes just teaching them what that little status bar means at the top of the page and how they're expected to behave once they get in there.
Yep. So knowing all that and given that context, right, is why we decided to offer the Padley package, because it solves several problems simultaneously. Yeah. It solves the, hey, I don't know what I want. Well, we can show you exactly what you're going to get that a high level wholesale organization that's very close to doing $1 million a month in revenue is using, with over 10 acquisition managers, a bunch of disposition, a really fully built out team with executive dashboards, COO dashboards, all the way down to all these child dashboards, even down to individual rep dashboards that show their specific KPIs, right? All the tracking measurables, all of the marketing, every dashboard you could ever want. It also has a very smooth and streamlined process that cuts out the fluff, decreasing your cash to realization cycle, right? And we can do that. We can offer that on a timeline of what?
45 days.
45 days. So fixed price, fixed process, fixed product, 45 days. One of the most elite and efficient sales forces out there that you've seen, and you've been under the hood of hundreds, right?
Yep.
Okay. And so it's solving a lot of problems, and we're super excited about that. And we really wanted to come in today and dive that up. And here's the other cool part, right? I'm not Clint, Tyler, the partners at Padley, we're not going to stop developing our sales force ever, right?
Yep.
And we've agreed that through this package, as we update it, they will get those updates as well periodically. So it's a fixed price. You get the updates as we continue to develop it. I genuinely cannot think of a better opportunity to get in SalesForce at a very reasonable price, continue to having it developed on my dollar. How can you lose with that?
All I want is a revenue share. I just want the first deal. I just want the first deal, the first month that you work with me, then you're good. And I joke about for my platinum clients, we have guys that have paid us for well over a year, 6 G's a month. And they got some awesome stuff spinning up, very custom to their business. I joke with them and say, dude, just cut me like 1/4 of your first deal.
Yeah.
And if you can't do one more deal a month, then we need to think about how you're investing, because if you have me chasing down these little widgets and doing all these automation, I may come back at you and go, hey, I'm curious, show me your pending deals. And we can't access those. So that's a problem, mate. We got to get there first. But on the Padley deal, man, because I can slice it one of two ways. I can bill you for 400 hours, or you can pay platinum for like 8 months. Or you can just pay for 20 G's up front, a 45-day engagement where you're getting trained by an American SalesForce team.
And you get the Padley package.
Get the Padley package, no brainer.
It's the best deal in real estate.
Best deal in real
hands
estate.
down. So, look, guys, we're going to wrap this up here. I encourage you, right, reach out, DM me, Padley package, DM Wyatt Padley package. Let us show you what you can have. This is amazing. I can promise you that. You can't live without SalesForce. You can give yourself every excuse in the world, but if you are trying to build an elite wholesale division with data integrity, good reporting, and a fluid process, you got to have it, right? There is no Podio. It's clunky. It's unreliable, right? REI, like it's all trash. Trust me. I've been there. I thought it was great too until I got here. There is a reason the big dogs, right, use SalesForce.
Yes.
Every elite, every Fortune 500 company, right? Every publicly traded, they're not on Podio, right?
It is the last CRM you will ever buy.
It is the last CRM, and you cannot outgrow it.
Nope.
And you can completely customize it.
Yep.
And it's the best, hands down, regardless. And now you can get what, Fortune 500 companies spend millions of dollars to develop. You can get it for a low fixed price on a very short time frame. It is a no-brainer. I would not be here putting my reputation on it. That's for a fact. So reach out to us, DM me Padley package. Let us get you going on this thing, and we look forward to doing a lot of deals together with you.
Awesome, man.